Okay, so this is day one of getting to native fluency in Spanish. So when I was in 7th grade, I remember 7th grade of February of 2022, I think. That's when I started studying Spanish and really taking this seriously. And the reason why was because there was a student in my class named, actually I'm not gonna name his name, but in Sweden, you choose either Spanish or French as like a third language to learn, because in Sweden we have Swedish, English, and then you choose either French or Spanish or sometimes German as well. So naturally, I chose Spanish, which was in 6th grade, and then a year later, that's what I'm talking about. So I originally never had a desire to learn Spanish. I just chose Spanish in school because everyone else did that, and also it was the easiest. It was easier than French, everyone said, and also my brother had done it, so naturally I would also follow in his footsteps. And so in 7th grade, this guy in my class, he had downloaded Duolingo, but also he had downloaded Duolingo Plus, and he had been studying Spanish in his free time on Duolingo. And in class, he had seen better results, and even the Spanish teacher noticed it, and she was impressed and stuff. And then it slowly started becoming like a trend that everyone just started going on Duolingo to learn Spanish or do French. So it was like everyone in the class had now started to be on Duolingo in Spanish and to get better at the language that they were studying in school. And growing up, I'd been playing Minecraft, playing games pretty much my whole life, since I was 5, 6, 7 years old. But I played Minecraft with my friends, my cousins, and I'd always been very competitive. I'd always want to be the best. I remember in Minecraft, if you've ever played Minecraft before, there's this thing called God bridging, which is where you just bridge extremely quickly, essentially, which if you don't even know what bridge is, whatever. Essentially, it's a really pro thing, and I actually learned how to do it to be better than everyone else. And I also got a PC just to play Minecraft. I was obsessed. So naturally, because this has become a trend, I wanted to sort of become the best at that as well. So I was doing research into language learning apps, and I saw this video by this guy named Ikenna. And Ikenna is this very popular Spanish language learning YouTuber. And so I clicked on the video, and I didn't expect much. And it put an app called Language Transfer, and also another app called Pimsleur at the top. And I didn't have any money, so I didn't do Pimsleur, but actually Language Transfer was free. So I thought, okay, let me just take this guy's advice on it. And if it's better than Duolingo, then all right, let's go. So I downloaded Language Transfer, and honestly, within the first 3 to 5 lessons, I was mind blown, literally shocked. It was I unlocked things I didn't even know how to do. And within the first 10 lessons, bro, I literally tried telling as many people at school about this because it became a trend. And I even remember I told one of my close friends, and he wanted to gatekeep it. He literally told me, don't tell this anyone. I remember we started doing this, the language transfer course together. If you don't know what language transfer is, by the way, it's an app. It's a language learning app for Spanish. And I remember even one day we're in class and we're we're on break and we're going through the language transfer lessons. And he just explains this concept of how to conjugate verbs. And it just clicks in both of us. And then we were freaking out because it was you could get so much with so little effort. So fast forward, I did language transfer for a bit. And I actually repeated the course twice. And then during the summer of 2022, I told all my friends and everyone I'm going to be fluent in Spanish by the end of this summer. And so during the summer, I tried all the things that people had tried before. I already did language transfer, and I had a decent level, but it wasn't anything great. I was able to create sentences, but I was still very slow. I spoke very slowly. I'll put a clip of me speaking here, actually.
Hola, estoy comiendo comida. Voy a mejorar mi español.
So that was the first actual how I sounded when I was speaking Spanish, and that was just from regular language transfer stuff. That's probably how beginners speak. And so after the summer, this is how I spoke.
Y ahora puedo hablar de más o menos muchas cosas, pero hay un límite.
Like I said in the clip, I was able to have conversations with natives. I remember throughout this time, as I was studying and trying to find which methods worked and which didn't, I went through a bunch of different methods. I went through the Quizlets, I went through memorizing, I went through this. I also created my own methods. I also did exercise that I call transcript training, and I also did a speaking exercise. And essentially I did all the different ways to learn Spanish, pretty much. And I found the most effective ways. And so throughout the 2 months of summer, I found the main things that were genuinely helping me get fluent in Spanish. And so on the last month of that summer, August of 2022, I pretty much just did that same routine of learning Spanish, of the specific methods that I found that worked for me. And literally in about 2 weeks, I went on a call on this app called Hello Talk. It's like this like app where you can do language exchanges. And I remember going on this call, and I stayed on the call for about an hour, and it was with like native Spanish speakers, and I was able to have fluent conversations with them. Like we were going back and forth. I was saying my thing, and then they were saying theirs thing. I understood them, and then like it was a back and forth. And after the call, it just sort of clicked in me, like I just had an hour-long conversation with Spaniards. I was like, what? And so when school started, not only had I achieved my goal, but also there was a new Spanish teacher. So I introduced myself and I tried speaking with her only in Spanish, and it was going pretty good, and she was also very impressed. I remember even when I was talking to people in Spanish, they asked me how long I've been learning. I told them I've been learning for a few months, and they were all super impressed. They were like, damn, I didn't expect that, right? And so after that summer, I actually didn't study Spanish at all. Like honestly, after that summer, I might have, like, I went on Hello Talk to like talk with people to maintain my Spanish. But honestly, I just did that. I just literally that, and then I maybe watch some Spanish videos here and there. That's it. I literally just maintain it, and that's what I've been doing for the past 2 years. And throughout the past 2 years, my Spanish has improved a lot. I was able to speak better. I was able to, learn, and I hadn't really done anything other than just speak with Spaniards. And so that's what I've been doing for the past 2 years to improve my Spanish. Now, I still think that I'm at like a conversational level. I want to get to that native level of fluency. And so I've done a challenge for myself, because I know that the things I did, because I tried everything, right? I exhausted every single method, and I know the specific methods that worked for me. So now this summer, again, it's history repeats itself. I've been doing this for the past 2-3 days. In the next 30 days, I'm going to get to a native level of Spanish. And what I mean by native level is not just being able to have conversations, but be able to understand everything. And I want to understand like Spaniards when they speak, and every single Spaniard, because for now, like it's like I can understand certain accents because I'm used to those. But even then, it's like super hard to understand everything. So now I'm gonna try to like really improve my Spanish and get to a fully native level, as though like you can't distinguish me from a native. And I'm actually gonna make a video on exactly what I'm doing to get there, and I'm also going to make a little sort of before and after. So here is, I guess, day 1. We'll count this as day 1, even though I started like 2-3 days ago. Bueno, ahora estoy hablando español. Ahora estoy hablando español. No quiero traducir nada, entonces no quiero traducir mucho, entonces solo voy a hablar un poco. Quiero aprender español, quiero hablar más rápido, quiero mejorar, quiero entender los hispanohablantes mejor. Y es que quiero que mi acento suene más. Quiero que mi acento suene más como un colombiano. Y que pueda hablar más rápido como recién hablé. Quiero hablar más rápido y como no quiero pausar, to pause. Right, so that's the first day. That's how we're looking so far with Spanish. That was just on the fly. I didn't have a script or anything. And yeah, we're gonna see how this is going. So this is day 1, and if you want to talk to me one-on-one on Discord, and I can talk to you personally, and I can also help you personally with your Spanish journey, then add me on Discord. And I hope this video helped you, bro, and stay humble.